to another tech video where we will be discussing the problems with Stifle-Nought and to some extent Ponder. And with me, as per usual, is Fox. Welcome aboard, man.
Hey, how's it going?
It's alright.
Doing good. Yeah.
Awesome. So, this is from a league we played the other day, where we stumbled upon a Grixis Stiflenought player, and we.
I think this was a 5-0 league.
Yeah, I think it was, and we.
Alright, yeah.
At
This
the
will
time
be,
of
Grixis with Croxa.
Yeah, exactly. And at the time we figured we wanted to do something with this video, but we didn't have time at the time, so we went back to it now. So let's look it through. Do you have any comments before we start looking?
I don't think so. I think we'll kind of address the issues as they show up.
Right.
I think that we hit a lot of the high points with the other video with Stifle-Nought, and we'll kind of see that those themes will continue.
Yeah, and we have a fine starting hand. It's a bit reactive, but it's alright. Missing the white mana, of course, but I think we stuck with it.
Yep.
And
this land is so much better than what's it called? Celestial Colonnade.
Yeah, it's been fantastic in the games that we've played. It's been a powerhouse, fitting our game plan very well.
Yep.
So we just continue developing the mana, and for now we are probably thinking it's Delver, right?
Yeah, I think pretty early here I did say, like, it could be technically a Dreadnought list. So we were playing around it pretty heavily for quite a while.
Yeah, here's a big playing the Underground Sea. So
yeah, and there's just not too many blue-black Delver types running around.
No.
So we forced through the standstill, and we're doing pretty well here.
Yeah. This is not the worst spot. So we basically just want to keep developing the mana. Hopefully drawing some lands. At least we have protection for whatever.
Yeah, and there's just not much to do here. We're just hitting land drops is all we're trying to do.
Wondering where the hell is the white mana.
Trying to slow play us or something.
And basically the only other deck it could be is Grixis Control, which is not a popular deck.
Yeah, and Grixis Control actually got ruled out with when they cast Daze. So right here, you know that what is this? Bulk, Underground, and a basic island and a Daze.
Yeah.
Doomsday doesn't engage patterns like these.
No. So this is interesting. I mean, they have the Wasteland, but...
Yeah. We say Tundra targeting your Wasteland.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. Got him.
Alright.
So I'm not really sure what they're really thinking here.
Yeah, and we are not in a hurry. I mean, we can deal with most things. As soon as we find the basic island, we're...
Basic plains,
yeah. We're kind of set.
So now it's pretty hard for us to lose now that we have a basic plains.
So here he goes
for
it.
There's the classic Ponder.
Yeah, and cracking it in his turn is just awesome for us. And we even have the second white lined up with the dragon.
Yeah. Here we go, spinning our wheels on cantrips, getting nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's behind on mana because he has to cantrip.
Yeah.
All the time.
And again, ask yourselves if they're playing Dreadnought, what they could actually be digging for.
So here he plays the Croxa, and we let it
Yeah, that one's
resolve.
going to go to the farm.
Yeah. I don't remember what we sent back. We killed the Croxa, and I think we discarded the Sevins in the end. We had a bit of a discussion on this one.
Yeah, there was a lot of things to choose from here.
Mm-hmm.
But do note that right there, as we cycled the dragon, that they did just tap themselves out of Stifle.
Yeah.
So they just gave us a second basic white for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's clicking through.
And we're
And
down
we can
to
play our
8
Scroll of
cards.
Fate now and arrest them if we want to. We can play a Teferi first, which makes even more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, they just didn't have anything.
And here comes the Scroll of Fate.
Yep. I think that right here they kind of realize that they're in a lot of trouble. You do not want to be the person that's not playing Scroll of Fate in a Dreadnought mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look at that, dress down.
So here they go for broke, right?
Yeah, and here's the sorcery speed threat that can't hurt you into past the turn.
Yeah. So we get down
Alright.
a Dreadnought of our own.
Yeah, so they're just done at this point.
We kill the Croxa, bounce a Dreadnought, and we have basically 2 Dreadnoughts.
And then, we go after their mana and say that they'll never Croxa again. And I don't think they can actually recur a Croxa now that we double wastelanded them.
Mm-hmm. We hit him for 12, having a Dreadnought as a backup, plus the Force of Wills. So at this stage he's just screwed, right?
Yeah, I think that right there that we really exposed their mana base.
Mm-hmm. So there we go, and that's it. So, so what is the problem? Why is what is the fundamental deck construction error that he fell for?
The problem is that every time that you do this, what they're doing, you're playing Daze in a deck that's, number one, not really generating enough pressure early on. But number two, it's cool to do this whole dress down thing on the end step and then slam all your big guys, but it really doesn't count for much if you're just going to pass the turn.
Right.
Because you gave us infinite time. We wiped your three guys, and you got nowhere.
Right.
So that's kind of the issue.
So what you're saying is that when we play Dreadnought, it is for the semi-haste that we can provide with Scroll of Fate is the combo finish that we're looking for. It's not a game plan on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah, and while we're going to kill them with the Dreadnought here, if they would have stayed in the game, it's really not our win condition.
Right. Sometimes, when you're playing in a matchup that you might not be able to win, or your hand is not cooperating, you can do the turn to Stifle Dreadnought and cheese out a win, but it's not a good plan.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that happens.
So, and in other color combinations, is it a different thing, like for the blue-red Dreadsteel deck? Or is it
blue-red Dreadsteel is more of the count to 20 combo. By any means necessary. So it's just a different kind of combo that you pursue. Right. Whereas the blue-white version is just going to try and lock people out.
Yeah. And this is one, together with the Hall of the Storm Giants, this is like the one of the ways to win. Winning is not like a important part of the plan. Sort of.
Yeah, it's something that you do whenever you're ready to actually end the game.
So what's your advice for the Grixis Stifle-Nought players? Can you fix the deck?
Yeah, so look at the number of duels they just played there, right? There's 5 of them at least. You've got your 2 Underground Seas, you got your 5 Valks. So number one, understand that even if that was Uro, and it was tropicals.
Yeah.
Number one, there's a huge cost, but even more than that, um, you've got some pretty sizable issues with just casting your guy through Wasteland. Like look at their deck right now. How are they going to cast a Croxa now that
Mm-hmm.
we've knocked them off probably their only two black sources, you know?
Yeah.
So my advice to Grixis Stifle-Nought players is to number one, stop playing Stifle-Nought and stop playing Grixis.
Yeah.
Just play Blue Red Dread still.
Yeah. Croxa is not worth the hassle, sorta.
Yeah.
It basically has the same problem as sorcery speed dreadnought, that it just isn't good enough.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we also saw the issue with playing Dress Down and then playing a Croxa. Um, and it could also be Uro. Like it doesn't matter when you're doing that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're just turning these 2-for-1s into 1-for-1s.
Yeah.
So that doesn't end well for you in Legacy, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. And in the other two games, it was basically we saw the same issues, even if he managed to steal one of the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so based on the play patterns in this game, we're saying that he doesn't have any one-drop threats, and he's trying to do the same thing that Cartesian was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we board. And I think we end up boarding out one of our Shark Typhoons because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, I think this will be food for thought at least, and maybe people will stop playing cantrips for no good reason, or at least the wrong ones.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I think the third game is also worth watching.
mm-hmm.
If we can do that one real quick here.
Sure.
Yeah, so this was a pretty fun one for us.
Mm-hmm.
So again, pretty good hand here. This is an easy keep. You've got your access to basics, Relic of Progenitus, Powder Kegs, everything you want.
Yeah. And the relic is just gonna be very annoying for him with his Croxa. So there's
Delverino.
Yeah. So what's the play here?
I think the play here is to force them to pick their land up if they want to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did a keg, which makes more sense to me.
Yeah. Can't remember, but yeah. And it resolves.
So no days.
And we have his Delver covered.
Yep. They're allowed to wasteland us. Stay in. And so again, just understand that when you're wastelanding us like that, it's not a very good play if you only have 4 Delvers and that's your only 1-drop threat.
Mm-hmm. And we were in a bit of a bind and not finding the second land, and we could crack the relic. I think we do eventually, but I can't.
Yeah, I think we're doing okay right here, though. Did we do it? Oh, nice, we did.
Yeah. I think we had a bit of a discussion about it, but
yeah.
And as long as the Delver doesn't flip, we're not really in a hurry.
Yep. And now we're just holding up mana, saying if you cast a Ponder and you tap out of Stifle, we're gonna unload on you in terms of basic lands.
Oh, even take another hit. That means he can't play any Dreadnoughts and all that shit.
So right here we're gonna overtax Stifle.
Yeah.
Oh, and they don't do anything. And they don't play anything. Not a great look.
So we.
So yep, we do force back.
We do a hymn on him. He has to force.
And yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
And so now we have our fetches kind of protected by Stifle if we want to.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Now we're doing good. Got some extra land drops.
Here comes the Dreadnought.
There they go. And just know that they, yeah.
So here we probably crack.
This was the kind of a fun point where we're like, yeah, because we cracked the relic, we're not going to deal with the Crocs of recursion.
Oh yeah, and here's the humility. But we can't really do it right now, right?
Not yet. No, I think we have to do the. I think we did a plow first or something. Yeah. And then we get to use all our mana here. Boom. And there are 3 cards in hand.
Yep.
And they've got to go for it again, but they can't.
So here's the
So here's Torak, and they're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Grixis, not known for its ability to kill enchantments.
There's the
Discard your Red
search.
Blast.
Yeah.
If you have it.
And again with the cantrips.
Wonder what they could be looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, basically there are really no real outs here. So he goes for this.
Here they're going to start to pull our swords.
Yeah.
Nice play, bud. So they shuffle off Arteferi, which is fine. We get a card that's just as good.
Right, and we have the Ascanta going, so I mean.
Yeah, and then we're going to watch him bleed out on Ascanta. This would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah.
That's a nice 2
That's
for
not
1.
a good look. But then there's our 5th swords. And again, what are you doing with your cantrips? I mean, it wouldn't matter. Like, it wouldn't matter if they found a threat. But that's all that they can find is the threat. And then Ashiok comes, the second Ashiok, because we pitched the first one to Fourth of Will.
Yeah.
So we got the graveyard under control now.
So no more Crocs action for you. So he plays a 1/1.
Right. Yeah.
We continue chipping away with Ascanta, getting a Scroll of Fate.
Yeah, and now Scroll of Fate with Humility just means that every card in their hand's a 1/1, so they're in even more of a world of hurt.
Yeah, because now every land is a creature, right?
This was we had a discussion here as to which one we were going to manifest.
Yeah.
But all that's fine. We're at 10 life. We're going to be just coasting. Nice Badlands. Yeah, so there's yet another mana source. Now we got the Karn, because Karn plays around Pyroblast. Ooh. Alright. Seems good. I think we spent +1 on no targets, so they couldn't bolt us.
Yeah, and we were just accruing advantage over time. And we didn't care about how to win, because eventually we would find a hole of Storm Giants and just smack him for 7 a piece.
Yeah, I mean, it was that Ascanta would take over and card advantage, or we would just get 24 power on board with 2 Dreadnoughts, and then have a Teferi bounce around Humility and hit it for 24 and one-shot him. Yeah.
Exactly.
It was never going to end well for them.
Our threats are for the late game when we already have control.
Yeah, I mean, again, you see the problem with their deck. If you just sit back and you make your land drops, it really doesn't matter what they're doing. Their deck doesn't have a plan. You just kill their guys, play around days, get a little bit of life gain, so you play around Bolt, and they can't threaten you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're playing big green monsters, basically. So that's not a strategy that's for Legacy, right? That's standard.
I don't think so. Yeah. And the other thing to discuss here is kind of some of the problems with the Delver when it had not Dragon Rage, but the other one, Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Yeah.
Right. So if you look at their CMCs here, they're basically saying that they're playing 4/8 Delver, meaning they're playing 4 Delvers at 1 drop, and they're playing effectively 8 2-drops, Croxes and Dreadnoughts. That's not a great way to play Stifle. We saw that kind of with Cartesian as well. When you're playing, days with 2 drops, it doesn't end well for you. But even the old Delver decks during the Oko Dreadhorde era were kind of a joke for Blue-Red Dread still, because they were playing 4/6/4 Delver. They were playing 4 Delvers, 6 2-drops, so Dreadhorde maybe like 2 Goyf, and they were playing 4 slots of Oko mixed with Clothis.
Right.
Really, really poor shell for days. And so we see the opponent kind of doing that here, and it
Yeah,
of
and
course doesn't work out.
they got away with it because Oko was such a powerful card, sorta.
Yeah,
And
yeah, Oko and Clothis.
yeah, and this shell does not run as powerful cards. I mean, Dreadnought is a fun card, but it's not. I mean, as a sorcery speed threat, it's not great in most situations.
Yeah, it's just it's their monocropping, their win con. This is just the combat step. That's the only way that they're realistically going to win.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that they can bolt you out is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Of course, yes. It's a fundamental deck building error rather than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And while I understand that people do want to play their dreadnoughts like this, it's fun, it's splashy, but it's not a great strategy if you want to win.
Yep.
All right, man. I think we covered a lot of interesting ideas, so we will do more of these type of videos as we run into more interesting games eventually, and see you guys later.
All right. GG's.
GG's, man.